Hello my friends and welcome back to the shop. Buck Weezer, Buck's Small Engine DIY on YouTube. I'm sitting here on top of the 2007 Arctic Cat TRV 400 four-wheel drive all-terrain vehicle. That's quite a mouthful. And today's project is I'm going to replace one of the rear axles. And if that interests you, I want you to stay tuned because we're going to have a great time together. And I'm going to walk you through the process step by step. All right, so the question is, why are we replacing the axle? Well, if you look down here, you'll see the CV boot is completely ripped up, and actually a big chunk of it's missing. And there is the piece that I ripped off. It was just flopping around. It's kind of a greasy and nasty mess. And I'm going to replace this whole axle. So I know what you're thinking. You're saying, why would you replace the entire axle? You can just replace the boot. Well, I got a couple of reasons for that. The first reason is, regardless of whether you change the whole axle or just change the boot, you got to remove the axle from the vehicle anyway. So it's really an easier job just to replace the axle than it is to remove the axle, take the CV joint apart, put the new boot on, add the grease, try to get it back together. It's a lot more work. So that's one reason. The other reason is that replacing the boot is a pain in the neck. It's a messy job. And even though it may not be too terribly difficult, one of the issues is always impossible to get those new clamps on tight enough, and then it starts leaking out all over again. You got another big mess on your hand, and you got to repeat the job. So that's the second reason. And the third reason is, if you replace it, you've got a whole new axle, and you've got a brand new inner boot and outer boot. Not to mention all new components, and I just think it's a better solution. And the fourth reason is it's a little bit more money, but the customer's paying for it. I'm not. That was weird. Let's get on with the project. Well, we got to remove the wheel. Next, we're going to remove the brake caliper, and you got a 10mm bolt right up here, and another one down here. And they broke loose pretty easily. So I'll just take a minute and unbolt these. And then we'll remove the caliper and just slide it up out of the way. Can't get that one as easily. How about this guy? And number two. All right. That's good. Next, we'll remove this cotter pin and hope and pray that our castle nut will break loose for us without too much trouble. That part could be a real pain. All right, I did not have, this is a 30mm, you need a 30mm socket for this, which I did not have. So I had to get one. That has delayed my progress. And then I observed on the new one, the new axle, it's a 32 millimeter socket. So I had to buy some sockets. Let's see if this will take it off. Here's hoping. Oh, that's happy. So this guy can come off next. Wow, that's great. Because this sometimes can be the hardest part of the job, getting that off. So there's that. And next we got to, okay, so it's not frozen in there. That's great. We got to break this bolt here, swing it out, or maybe at the bottom. I think I'll take it off here at the top. We'll swing it out that way. Alright, so it's a 17 millimeter on this end and a 13 millimeter on this end. Alright, have to tap that out, I guess, with a hammer. Alright. Okay. Alright, so that's good. And it comes out happily. So that's kind of nice. And the old one's out. Great. Some of those steps can be a real fight, but we got lucky and it wasn't that bad. Alright, so this is the end that goes in towards the differential, and I'm going to put just a little bit of 80-90, like I said, 75-90 gear oil here, so it slides into the what do you call it? That seal without any trouble. I'm also going to use a little bit of anti-seize on these splines. So that it doesn't freeze on that thing. I don't think that's going to be an issue, but and I will do the same on the other end of the axle too, but for now that's the end that's going in first. So let's take care of that next. Alright, let's see about getting this guy in. Piece of cake. I like that. Now, how about a little bit of anti-seize on these splines here. And just a little bit of gear oil on this end here. So that it goes easily through our bearing here, like so. And that's that. Alright, not bad. This can go back on. That's that. Oh. This has a bit of dust on it. I'm going to clean this up. I'm going to clean some of the dirt off of this too before I put this back on. Just give me a minute to take care of that. Alright. back on. Castle nut. I'm sure there's a torque setting for this. I don't know what it is, but we'll put it reasonably tight with the impact. Alright. And we gotta figure out how to get this cotter pin in there. See, that's the problem. It doesn't always line up for you. Try that. Oh, that's good. Alright, that's pretty good, like that. Brake caliper goes back on. All right. Snug them down. All right, fabulous. What remains? Put the wheel back on. And that's it. We did it. All right, I want to thank you for watching. I think you can probably see now why I just prefer to go ahead and swap out the axle instead of trying to take the joint apart, put new boots on it. It's just easier to swap out the old axle for a new one. Now, it can be a lot harder if you have to fight with some of these components. And for us, everything went really, really easily. And this has been garage kept and is not all rusted out, and that probably has something to do with it. But it was really a pretty easy job. I hope this helps you, and I'd love to hear from you if it is of value to you. If you learned anything, your comments and questions are always appreciated in the discussion below. And if you don't mind liking, subscribing, I would appreciate that also. Got a little bit more work to do on this ATV before we're done with it, but that's it for the axle replacement. Thanks for watching. Remember, only you can put the do into do-it-yourself. See you on the next video.